Well, let's now get some more insights into the government plans for infrastructural development. And we're being joined now by the head Department of Strategy at the Lagos Business School, Professor Olawale Ajayi. Thank you very much, Professor, for joining us on the News at 10.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's begin with the obvious question. How can Nigeria bridge the obvious gap and deficit in Nigeria's infrastructure to foster economic development?
Simply put, we have to invest annually in upgrading the infrastructure stock and in maintenance of existing hard infrastructure. There's also the need to reform the governance, the institutions around infrastructure. I think that is the minimum that can be done. There is a national integrated infrastructure master plan, which suggests that, recommends that Nigeria should spend about $2.3 trillion up to 2043. Obviously, the issue is, will that money come? But it's quite obvious that for a nation that is expected to be about 400 million people in about 2050, we must ensure that the infrastructure that will drive growth and development is there and is actually being built up ahead of those increments in population that we expect.
All right, but if you were to advise the president on the immediate, medium, and long-term framework or plan or strategies to take or pay attention to, what would that be in infrastructure?
I would rather say that the existing plans look very good, and if we can implement those plans the way they are, that would be very good. If we can, get the investment into ensuring that existing plans as far as energy, transportation, housing, the broadband plan, education, health, if we can ensure that these are implemented, I think that would be a good step. And ensuring that this is not just at the federal level, but there is essential unity of action at the unit levels of government.
All right, but let's turn our attention to transportation now. There are obvious gaps, but do you think that the government has been strategic in terms of paying attention in terms of spread and, of course, creating a multimodal transport infrastructure in the state and the country?
I would say that there has been some appreciable work. I mean, if you look at the previous administration, you've seen work on the roads. You've seen quite a lot of work in terms of rail. And of course, there was some work in the aviation sector. Quite a lot of activity, particularly in some of the states, as far as marine transport is concerned. So I would say that one must at least give kudos to where this is due, where it is due, and it is now important to build on that foundation.
All right, thank you very much. Head Department of Strategy at the Lagos Business School, Professor Olawale Ajayi. Thanks a lot for your contribution on the News at 10.
Thank you for having me.